I don't know what I expected when I incorporated the chat. One person says I should wear a skirt and nothing else. The other one says I should rock a dex build with punch gloves, even though I'm rocking a strength build. Hi, buddy. Oh, you... Okay. So in Dark Souls 1, this guy was the only person here who could really talk to you, besides a certain someone we'll probably get into more later. And, he was just like an all-around cool guy. He would be sitting here and smithing away. So seeing him dead is like... I'm kind of shocked that there was no real writing on the floor that just said sadness. Because everyone loved that guy. He was super legit. Okay. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I come to talk with you again. Yada, yada, yada. This place is real dark. And it's bullshit. Can I fuck up? No, that's not in this game. This body here is what confirms that this is an Alondo, not just a similar building. This is literally the same place. So an Alondo was a construct of lies, which, like I said, the place was super sunny and shit. So it was all just a clever ruse. Yeah, like Alice is correcting me, but I was getting to that. I was segueing. Because you come here and everything's sunny and everything's great. There's all these like pretty knights, giant knights in pristine looking armor and shit. Wow, okay. This could go a whole lot better. And there we go. Hi buddy, how you doing? Ow. And so, but in this building is the other person I was talking about that talks to you. And that is friendly to you. Besides Solaire, of course, but, you know, he's unique in every sense of the word. But, you come down here in that room ahead, you will find Guinevere, who is this, like, you've seen her before, especially if you browse hentai. Just gonna look at that for a little while. Because she is like a goddess with huge tits. Oh my god, I forgot about you! Oh, there we go. And if you, and she's like, hey, okay, you came here for the Lord Vessel? Sure, here, just take it. It's right over there. Just, like, take it. I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna run down. And she's like, hey, you want this Lord Vessel? Then go ahead and take it. I don't need it. You came here, you be my gods. Just fuck off. And if you at this point have actually like looked at the law, like learned the law, idiot. If you have learned the law, idiot, then you will realize something is very, very wrong here. Guinevere should not be here. The place should not be great. There is something fucking wrong here. So you do what everyone would do. And you two-hand those titties. And by that I mean you hit her. Once you hit her, the illusion breaks. Oh fuck. And the truth of Anolondo is revealed. The place is indeed here. The geometry is all sound and dandy. But the sun is dead. The sun is gone. All the guards that were here, besides the Silver Knights that I completely forgot about when I said that no one else was here, I'd gone. The firekeeper in the place has gone insane. You have been lied to the utmost extreme. I'll do that. And the blacksmith is still there. I was talking about something? Like I was making a point with the fact that this was like the Shadow Wall. Ooh. I don't recall what it was though, but yeah, there we go. Ow! Also, that's not a moon, that's an eclipse. Is what Alice is saying. I know nothing about game mechanics and don't ask me what to wear. And you expected a serious answer? Well, it could be like, hey, do you prefer this kind of armor or this kind of armor? Hey, baby.
Very well, then hey. Farewell, Ashen One Maiden.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Do I actually have like some Silver Knight? Silver Knight? Okay, I don't. I have the Silver Knight gauntlets. They are heavier. Looks great. And I also have the Silver Knight pants, I think. Still a good fast roll. Okay. Let's rock this because I'm still like, I still got the thing going for me. And I just get a little.
What needs?
You want to go big poise, then more armor set, fantastic. Morn?
My. The coal of that peaceable giant.
See, even Andre's like, man, that dude was legit.
I miss the old bugger, I do. My thanks. I'll be sure this coal is put to good use. I'll be smithing weapons never afore seen by the likes of ye. It's but a small service to pay my humble respects.
I love you, Andre. Still got a ways to go. Do I have anything that needs repairing? No. Why is this function even here? Like, doesn't your shit get repaired the moment you sit down?
Try the aiming, I go.
Could be wrong, of course. Andre, I believe, is the second oldest living thing in this Dark Souls universe, and he is a literal god, like Gwyn and company. He's a straight up god. Who the fuck the Smith is? That is Andre. And he is like we say in the hood, he is straight b-ballin'. You don't actually say that in the hood. Just making that up. I wouldn't even know because I'm not from the hood. I don't think I've ever seen a hood. I've been to like the Danish equivalent of a hood, but that's like a fucking capital city. Like, holy shit! Ow! Woo! Oh my goodness! Hold on, calm down. Well, you want some Titanite shots, this is the way to get them. I fucking love the curtains just waving in the wind up there. It's a really cool look. It's a detail they didn't have to add, but they did. Okay! Are you guys just angry because of my sick Dark Souls tattoos? For those of you who are not keeping track, yes, I do in fact have Dark Souls tattoos. Okay, I'm just gonna chill up here. You guys are coming for me, aren't you? Aren't you like super vulnerable to this? Oh, that was a dumb idea. I also think Andre, before the theory that Solaire was Gwyn's son, people thought that Andre was Gwyn's son. Brilliant. Okay, get ready for like a huge fucking lore bomb. Fuck. That's a lot. Here's the next one for as you push through the Eldritch Faithful area. This is the Fat Covenant boss in the Eldritch Faithful. So Fatty McFatass here is arc. Okay, so there was a fat ass down in the basement where I fought those two Berserk monsters. So Fatty McFatass here is Archdeacon McDonald, one of the three Did I already do that? Okay. Seems you skip McDonald, I'll post the Eldritch stuff, I'll try to vote. Read how you want. Eldritch the Devourer of Gods. As we've been told numerous times, Eldritch was not and never was a holy man, but he was a powerful man, likely due to his constant imbibing of flesh and blood, which, as we know, followers of the Abyss Watchers fight, contains the essence of the soul. Eldritch, a known cannibal, spent a long time eating, consuming souls in their priest form. So much so that his body couldn't take it, and over time, his gigantic swollen body caved into sludge. Due to his immense power and the force of the myriad of souls within him, in his time, Eldritch was a perfect contender to burn in the fire. It's not clear if he did so willing, but either way, Eldritch was fed to the first flame, and became a Lord of Cinder. We also know that due to his power, the Way of White took him as a saint, and revered him in the Cathedral of the Deep in the giant coffin where we fought the deacons. It's again unclear if they anointed him before or after his burning. During his stay in the cathedral, we know that the Way of White actively fed Eldritch. We know that the cathedral evangelists ventured out to the undead settlement and were responsible for rounding people up in cage wagons, bringing them along the road of sacrifice, aptly named, just to feed them to Eldritch, to keep him happy, content, sedated. We know Henri was once a child meant to be fed to him, which is why he's became the in this case she has become the incantation meant to hunt Eldritch down. Once the bells of awakening rung and Eldritch returned to unlife, he spoke of visions of the coming age of deep sea and the coming darkness. More on that later, as it's a big topic. It was this prophecy that fucked up the cathedral and its clergy, turning them into darkness and twisted their minds into the cultists we see here. After his prophecy, he left the cathedral and made his way to Iroquois, to what's left of Anolondo, with Archdeacon MacDonald and some of his most loyal followers. As for why he came to Anolondo, we need to look into his visions and his prophecy. His soul reads, when Eldritch ruminated on the fading of the fire, it inspired visions of coming age of the deep sea. He knew the path would be arduous, but he had no fear. He would devour the gods himself. Fun fact, ruminate has a double meaning, both to think deeply about something and to chew something slowly like a cow does. Part 2. While we are unclear on what exactly the Age of Deep Sea is, it had Eldritch afraid, and he came to Anolondo precisely because of that, to find a god to devour. Whether he needed to become more powerful or needed to stop the already dead god is, in typical Dark Souls fashion, unclear. As his name implies, we know Eldritch has devoured gods with the aid of Sullivan, and we can say with a degree of certainty that these includes Gwyndolin, Nito, and Priscilla. A damaged cell wall in the cathedral suggests he even tried to eat Rosaria before he left. Gwyndolin is the most obvious and visible of his victims. Yorska's dialogue tells us one day Gwyndolin fell ill, likely a scheme of poison and sabotage by Sullivan, who seized the chance to take over Iroquois in Gwyndolин's weakened state, locked him away, and let Eldritch slowly feed on him. From doing so, Eldritch gained his powerful magical archery attacks. The Life Hunt Scythe tells us Eldritch dreamt as he devoured the god of the dark moon, Gwyndolin, and in his dream he saw the form of a young pale girl in hiding, who we can safely say was likely either Yorska, or, given how he has this scythe, Priscilla, who he proceeded to find and eat. It's likely that with how Eldritch gains the abilities and powers of those he devours, he gains their memories too in the form of dreams. It could also be said that he didn't actually devour Priscilla, as the scythe's just a spell, but Gwyndolин's bow is real and solid. That's his dream and vision alone was enough to make Priscilla's scythe semi-tangible in spell form. This could explain why his visions of the deep sea are so important and noteworthy. Lastly, Nito the Gravelord. Eldritch's body is clearly covered in tattered cloth and skeletal remains, just like Nito. His staff can also transform into a large blade weapon, exactly as the Gravelord's sword from Dark Souls 1. As for the Age of Deep Sea, we need to go back in ways and remind ourselves on the ages of Dark Souls. Up until this point, there has always been three. First, the Age of Ancients, where there was no life, no fire, no darkness, only the arc trees and the great stone dragons. The Age of Gods, where Gwyn and his crew came from the first flame and killed the dragons. This is where we are now. Next is supposed to come the Age of Darkness, where the fire would die and the gods with it. Darkness consumes the land, and humanity would inherit the earth. Dark Souls 1 and Gwyn schemes are all about how stop this from happening, and here in Dark Souls 3, we're trying to undo that to bring about the Age of Darkness. What the fuck is that sentence? Dark Souls 1 and Gwyn schemes are all about how stop this from happening. Eldritch, however, saw beyond the Age of Darkness into something new, a fourth age, the Age of Deep Sea, and it frightened him enough to eat the gods. Up until this point, everything talking about the darkness and the abyss has been almost fond. It describes the abyss as a quiet, warm, gentle place, like the comforting non-existence of sleep. Yet Dark Souls 3 introduces a new concept, that the abyss is physically harmful. We hear from the blind priest girl in Firelink, who talks about the feeling of little creatures chewing at her skin. We find a bunch of weapons that are darkness tainted and chewed down by insects. We find a crazy cathedral evangelist who summons darkness insects to devour her enemies. We even find lots more about this later on in places I can't talk about right now, because it's spoiler territory. I believe these are signs of the coming Age of Deep Sea, that there's something darker, deeper than humanity living the abyss. As for what exactly it is, we can't say for sure, but we can say that when the Age of Darkness ends and the Age of Deep Sea sets in, there's something living there that'll inherit the earth after the humans. First dragons, then gods, then humans, then what? The Deep Gem item tells us there is a darkness that lies beyond human understanding. So yeah, that's basically Cthulhu. Okay, so if you're still with us, that was a lot to take in. We're gonna see if we can't put a dent in what I believe is one of the hardest bosses of the game. Sullivan, or however they pronounce it, I actually beat in my second try. Like the first time I played this game, I never fought a single boss more than 5 times. And the 5 times was Eldritch. I actually think Eldritch was the one that made me, like, besides Eldritch, I fought a boss like 5 times, and I think the one I fought 5 times was the last boss. Eldritch, I think, like, I had several fights again. So I'm not exactly going in there with a lot of piss and vinegar. But let's see what we can do. Eldritch, Devourer of Gods. That's right. You can't block that.